الكتاب والسنة وعن الصحابة والتابعين ومن بعدهم والخالفين لهم من علماء الأمة رضي الله عنهم أجمعين. What has been narrated from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the order and the encouragement to hold fast to the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and what came also in the narrations from the Sahaba and the Tabi'een and those who came after them from the ulama of this ummah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with all of them. And we mentioned some of these ahadith, the famous ahadith that talks about the importance of holding fast to the Sunnah of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. And we continue inshallah ta'ala. He says, narrating from Imam al-Awza'i rahimahullah, he said عن حسان ibn عطية قال كان جبريل عليه السلام ينزل على النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم بالسنة كما ينزل القرآن عليه يعلمه إياها كما يعلمه القرآن. He's saying that Hassan ibn Atiyah, he said that Jibreel alayhi salam used to come down with the Sunnah on the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the same way that he would come down with the Quran on the Prophet alayhi wasallam, same way he would teach him the Quran. So that means the Sunnah of the Prophet alayhi wasallam would come down exactly like the Quran, meaning both are wahy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the Sunnah is wahy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As we said, this is a matter of belief. It should be present in our hearts, not something that we would forget and remember once in a while. It's like, the 5 pillars of Islam. We should also know that the Sunnah is wahy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, exactly as the Quran is the wahy from Allah. As we said before, they're not the same, of course. The Quran is the miraculous words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nothing is the like of it. But the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the speech and actions and what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam approved. And of course, nothing the like of the Quran. But as far as both coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yes. So as a result of that, the implication of that, the obedience, the submission is the same, no difference. If for a Muslim, he submits himself. The ta'ah, the obedience is exactly the same whether it's to the Quran or to the authentic Sunnah of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasallam. Then he says also, and I'm not mentioning all the chain of narrations, and this is an authentic narration, reported by Darimi and others. Then the next narration he says, عن عبد الله ابن عكيم أو عكيم وكان قد أدرك الجاهلية, that he witnessed الجاهلية before الإسلام. قال أرسل إليه الحجاج يدعوه فلما أتاه قال, الحجاج ibn Yusuf, he was a leader at this time, he called him, and when he came to him he said كيف كان عمر يقول, what did Umar رضي الله عنه used to say? He said كان عمر يقول, he said Umar رضي الله عنه used to say إن أصدق القيل قيل الله, that the most truthful speech is the speech of Allah. ألا وإن أحسن الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم, and the best guidance is the guidance of Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم. وشر الأمور محدثاتها, and the worst of the matters, شر is most evil or evil, الأمور matters, so the evil of the matters محدثاتها, the introduced matters, meaning the matters of the deen. وكل محدثة ضلالة, and every introduced matter is a deviation. And as we know, this is of course from khutbat al-hajah of the Prophet ﷺ, with slight differences in the different words. But this is what he also heard it from Umar radiallahu anh, as they used to follow the Prophet ﷺ. But adding to this, he says, Ala, in the statement of Umar radiallahu anh, he said, ألا وإن الناس بخير ما أخذوا العلم عن أكابرهم ولم يقم الصغير على الكبير فإذا قام الصغير على الكبير فقد, and there is with the original text there is emptiness here, but this is it's mentioned in the books of narrations, فقد هلكوا, right? So what is meant here, the word that is missing is فقد هلكوا. So what it means is that he used to say that the people are in khair, in matters of goodness, as long as they take the ilm from their akabir. From akabir means, or kabir, or big, but it refers to the people of knowledge, from the elders, the people of knowledge. And once the Saghir or the small becomes, take precedence or become forward his words, or people take his words, and not the Kabir, not the elder ones, if that happens, people will be perished or destroyed. It's not about small in length, height, or small in age. It refers to matters of knowledge. So when people take their knowledge from the people of no knowledge, what happened? They will be destroyed. But if they take the knowledge from the people of knowledge, the real people of knowledge, then they will be successful, because this knowledge has been or came to us from one generation to the other. This is why it's a chain all the way to the Prophet ﷺ, and the people of knowledge would praise one another, or they would give or authenticate one another. But when people just take some knowledge and they start being referred to as the people of knowledge, this is what the fitan and the destruction is. And he mentioned the same narration afterwards. And then also another narration, which is an authentic one. He said, عن أبي أمية الجماعي قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن من أشراط الساعة أن يلتمس العلم عند الأصاغر, that from the signs of the hour, that al-ilm or knowledge will be sought, a person would seek it from the small ones, not from the people of knowledge, but from those who are not the people of knowledge. قال موسى قال ابن المبارك الأصاغر من أهل البدع. Abdullah ibn Mubarak defining who are al-asaghir, who are the small ones, are the people of al-bid'ah, the people of innovation in the deen, not the people that follow the way of the Prophet ﷺ. It doesn't mean that we should not ever learn from someone that just have some knowledge, as long as that person is referring to the people of knowledge and he's teaching what he knows. There's nothing wrong with that, but what is meant here is the people of innovations of the deen. And it also becomes a fitna once a person becomes in charge of teaching and he cuts his relations with the people of knowledge, right? Because this is like stronger than the relation of the kin and kith. If people seek knowledge, they should always be attached to the people of knowledge. Once they feel that they do not have need to the people of knowledge, then this is where the fitna is. And it becomes a means of destruction and so on.
It's okay when somebody you don't know who is teaching. If somebody you don't know who is teaching, is it okay to ask the reference for what they're talking about?
Definitely, yes. And that's why for people that you do not know, to learn your religion from people that you do not know, this is a very dangerous thing. This is deen. And this is what Ibn Sirin, he said, Muhammad ibn Sirin, rahimahullah, from the Tabi'een, and al-amra deen, the matter is deen. فانظروا عمن تأخذون دينكم. Look and see who are you taking your deen from, right? So the matter is a serious one, of course, and that's why, as we said, the times of fitan, it's fitan because the matter becomes not clear. Who are we taking our deen from? Also, as he mentioned after that, قال عبد الله ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, and this is also an authentic narration. He said, اتبعوا ولا تبتدعوا فقد كفيتم زاد محاضر كل بدعة ضلالة. He said, اتبعوا, follow, and do not innovate. You see how close the two words are. اتبعوا ولا تبتدعوا, right? Follow and do not initiate things, do not introduce things. فقد كفيتم, you have been sufficed for. They have been given you what you need. Meaning, you would never do better or more than what the companions of Allah did. The Prophet ﷺ, he was the perfect one ever practiced his deen, and also after him the companions of Allah. So the matter is enough for you. This is not referring to the new things that might come up and people would need the rulings, and that's why they need the people of knowledge that would need ijtihad. What's the ruling of this or that? It's definitely the people are in need of the people of knowledge. But when it comes to matters of the deen, to introduce something in it, matters of belief, matters of ibadah, the matter is finished. There is no ibadah should come out because people are in need of it because of their circumstance, for example. There's no such a thing. It's been already done and finished, and that's why people need to follow that truth and not to innovate anything in the deen of Islam. Also, in another narration reported by Imam Darimi, rahimahullah, that Atika bint Juz, she said, we came to Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, and we asked him about the Dajjal, about the Antichrist, the Dajjal, or the liar. The Dajjal is the liar, one of the biggest fitna ever to afflict the human beings, and the Prophet ﷺ warned against him. So they asked Abdullah ibn Mas'ud about the Dajjal. He said to us, لغير الدجال أخوف أو لغير الدجال أخوف عليكم من الدجال. I fear for you what other than the Dajjal more than the Dajjal. I fear more from other than the Dajjal for you than the Dajjal himself. He said, أمور تكون من كبرائكم. Now, he said, أمور تكون من كبرائكم. Matters that from those who are supposed to be your elders or the people of knowledge. فأيما مرية أو رجيل. Any woman or a man, but the تصغير, a small woman, a small man, meaning anyone. أدرك ذاك الزمان فالسمت الأول السمت الأول فأما اليوم على السبت. Which means whoever, any of you witness this time when the matter becomes confusing and the matter is fitan and so on, that you would find even those who are referred to as people of knowledge, the matter becomes very difficult to find them, or they are introducing matters of the deen and whatever. Then he said, whoever witnessed this time, فَالسَّمْتُ الْأَوَّلِ. السَّمْتُ الْأَوَّلِ means the first way, the first way, right? Referred to the first way. And a samt, which can mean the path and can mean the appearance, right, or the way. So basically, go to the first way. When the matter becomes confusing like this, and you're not able to see things, what is right and what is wrong, go to the first way. Samt al-awwal. And what's the first way? The way of the Prophet ﷺ at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, the companions of Allah. So this is what to do in fitan, not to indulge in it and to try to figure out ourselves. Leave it, turn away from it, and go and see how things were at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, and this is what you hold fast to. Also, as Muhammad ibn Sirin, rahimahullah, he said, كانوا يرون أنهم على الطريق ما كانوا على الأثر. They used to see themselves, and this is also reported by Darimi, that they used to see themselves that they are on the path as long as they are on the athar. What's the athar? The tradition, the text. You know that you are on the right path if you're following the text, the wahy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Once you start following, well, that makes sense, or this makes sense, or that looks good, or doesn't look good, then this might be a means of destruction. And also, Shad ibn Yahya, he said, ليس طريق أقصد إلى الجنة من طريق من سلك الآثار. There is no path to Jannah more precise and closer to Jannah than the path of those who take or follow the athar or the text, the traditions. And he says, قال سفيان وجدت الأمر الاتباع. Sufyan al-Thawri rahimahullah, he said, I found the matter to be al-ittiba' is to follow. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, he said, al-iqtisadu fi sunnah khayrun min al-ijtihadi fi al-bid'ah. Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, al-iqtisadu fi sunnah khayrun min al-ijtihadi fi al-bid'ah. To do less, but you're still on the sunnah, is better than to do so much more, but you are on the bid'ah, innovation of the deen, and so on. Another narration, maybe this will be the last one because of the time. He says about one of the tabi'in, he says, أدركت أبا الدرداء. I witnessed, he saw Abu Darda radiallahu anhu, ووعيت عنه وأدركت عبادة بن الصامت ووعيت عنه. He saw him and he comprehended what he said. And also Ubadah ibn Samit from the companions of the anhum, and he comprehended what he said. وأدركت شداد بن أويس ووعيت عنه. And Shaddad ibn Uwais also the same way. وفاتني معاذ بن جبل. And I missed Mu'adh ibn Jabal. I didn't see him. I didn't learn from him. فأخبرت أنه كان يقول في كل مجلس يجلسه. I was informed that Mu'adh ibn Jabal رضي الله عنه used to say every time he sit in a majlis. Mu'adh ibn Jabal was, the leader of the ulama of the ummah. He used to say in every majlis, in every setting that he would sit, he would say, Allahu hakamun qist, which means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is hakam, is the most just in judgment, and qist is the one that is just. Tabarak asmu, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exalted his names. Halak al-murtabun, destroyed or perished those who are in doubt. Inna min wara'ikum fitanan, يكثر فيها المال فيفتح فيها القرآن حتى يأخذه الرجل والمرأة والحر والعبد والصغير والكبير. That behind you, that means would come days that has fitan, tribulations. Al-mal or wealth will be in so much abundance, and the Quran will be opened in these days, meaning people would read it and study it and so on, to the extent of which that the man and the woman would take the Quran, meaning reading it and studying it, and the free man and the slave and the big and the small. فَيُوشِكُ الرَّجُلُ, close will be, time would come when the man and يقرأ القرآن would recite the Quran, فيقول قد قرأت القرآن فما للناس لا يتبعوني وقد قرأت القرآن. The man would recite or read the Quran and he would say, I have recited or read the Quran. What's the matter with the people? Why they're not following me when I have read the Quran? ثم ما هم بمتبعي حتى أبتدع لهم غيره. And he said they would not follow me till I introduce something else for them. وإياكم وما ابتدع. And he would say, beware, be warned from what he introduces. فإنما ابتدع ضلالة. What he introduced is deviation. واتقوا زيغة الحكيم. And shield yourself, protect yourself from the slip of the wise person. The wise person, the person of knowledge, he might slip. Be warned of this. فإن الشيطان يلقي عليه في الحكم الضلالة ويلقي المنافق كلمة الحق. That the shaitan can put his word of deviation, and also the munafiq can say the word of the truth. So then they said to him, وما يدرينا يرحمك الله المنافق يلقي كلمة الحق وإن الشيطان يلقي على في الحكيم كلمة الضلال. They told him, how would we know that the shaitan would add a word from the words of the wise person, or he would make the munafiq, the hypocrite, say the truth? So the matter is confusing. How would we know? He said, اجتنبوا من كلام الحكيم كل متشابه الذي إذ سمعته قلت ما هذا ولا ينأ بك ذلك عنه فإنه لعله أن يراجع ويلقى الحق إذا سمعه فإن على الحق نورا. Of course, that needs, of course, some knowledge, in which he said, stay away from the words of the wise person, the one that is knowledgeable and so on. The words that is mutashabih, that is not clear, might mean more than one thing. So the person of knowledge, he might say something, and it might mean more than one meaning. Can mean a good thing and can mean a bad thing. Stay away from it. Stay away from what he said that can mean two things that you're not sure. Did he say this? It means this or it means that, and it's opposites, right? Or it can mean deviation. Stay away from it, and do not stay away from him. وَلَا يَنْأَ بِكَ ذَلِكَ عَنْهُ. Do not say, well, if he says this, that can mean this, I'm staying away from him to protect my deen. He said, do not stay away from him. Maybe that he would return and take his words back, and he would say the truth, and when you hear the truth, you would find light on the truth. The truth has its characteristics of being clear and light, but that needs, of course, for the person to have the knowledge, so that he's not knowing the truth based on what he thinks or what he feels. So the point is, this is a great advice, of course, because nobody is safe from making mistakes. But if the person that you trust his knowledge and his religion, never feel that anybody can be secure. If a person is alive, that means any fitna can affect him. It doesn't mean that a person becomes in doubt from anyone, but the matter is, what really matters is that this religion needs for the Muslim to be steadfast on what is right and what is authentic. And if somebody makes a mistake, or things can mean more than one thing, stay away from that, but still stay with the people of knowledge and so on. No. Is it clear? So maybe we can stop at this point, inshallah ta'ala, and we continue with more of these traditions. But again, the point is here, that times of fitan, the Muslim, if he's not prepared for the times of fitan, right, then he can easily slip in it and thinking that he's doing what is right. Fitan is to be avoided. Things when it's confusing, when it's not clear, you stay away from what is not clear to be steadfast on what is clear. Because this deen is clear. So it doesn't mean that the deen is clear, that it has to have explanation for every single thing. No, fitna means two sides or two things, both have some goodness in them, and both have some things that might not be very good, so you're confused which one to take. The deen tells you this is the clarity. It says, stay away. That's what the clarity is. Right? It's not that the deen would say, go with this and not this. If the matter is not clear, in the day of judgment, the person won't be asked, why did you go to here or there? It wasn't clear. And the Prophet ﷺ left us on the clear way. So the fitan is to stay away from it, not to indulge in it, and a person would ruin his life as a result of that, but to stay away, to be busy with what is clear, what is known, and to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for it.